Hello everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming to the channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening, watching right now on Spotify. Today is Wednesday, January the 7th, 2026. I'm here guys to do a follow-up video, and this is in regards to the woman, right, the doctor that we learned on December 15th we learned about this doctor that was found on the on the refrigerator of the Dollar Tree store. This case is so mysterious, right? A lot of unanswered questions. So I have a little update about it. So maybe, you know, this update, after I heard about it, it kind of made it more confusing. So I'm gonna share that with you. Before I continue, of course, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been subscribing and following me on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for doing that. It really helps me as a creator. Don't forget to do so. And everybody who is listening using the podcast, right? Anybody who's using Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, everybody, thank you guys so much for listening and liking the podcast, leaving a comment. Also, you guys are also able to subscribe on Apple Podcast to JulissaDesigns podcast. It will help me as a creator, so I want to thank you guys so much for doing that. So, this case, I'm gonna give you a brief summary. This happened actually was December 13. We learned about it on the 15th because I think she was discovered. A woman's entered. Okay, this woman entered the Dollar Tree store, one of the Dollar Tree store located in Miami, Florida, on December 13th, and she was found the next day, unresponsive inside one of the refrigerators, the commercial fridge, um, refrigerator, excuse me, at one of the Dollar Tree store. We learned that Helen Garay Sanchez, that's her name, 32 years old, I believe, from Nicaragua. She was just visiting the country, came here for the Christmas season to visit her dad, right? Has two kids in Nicaragua. She was a very well known and you know, very good at her job. She was an anesthesiologist over there for children, right? A very high profile um, position career, very well rewarded, right? The job, we all know, a job of an anesthesiologist, excuse me. I'm sure it's a very hard job, right? And that was her profession, that was her career, right? And she came here to the US, like I said, to visit family for the Christmas season. Around a closing time on a Saturday, uh, I believe it was December 13th, she enters the Dollar Tree store, doesn't speak to anybody, and walks straight to the back room and enters the walk-in refrigerator, right? And she was found the next day dead, right, inside the fridge, naked inside the fridge, right? So if you saw my previous video, if you heard my previous episode about this case, I commented about how when people get extremely cold, right, to the point of dying, there is a phenomenon called that is medical already proven. It's called hypothermia or something like this, that it makes people believe that they actually had a cold and they begin to take their clothes off, right? So that could be one of the reasons why she was found naked, right? I mentioned that. I also mentioned also about this case that the fact that she went basically very determined, right? We all know the Dollar Tree. Normally when you walk in a Dollar Tree, you always see something of interest at the front because it changes a lot by the season, right? But they put up, like if you go to a Dollar Tree now, early January, they're gonna have all the Valentine's Day stuff, right? And you can get essentials, but you get like seasonal things, right? That change faster. And I mentioned that this woman walks in right before closing time, and she goes straight to the back, almost on a mission, right? And people were diminishing her intelligence a little bit, saying, maybe she was looking for the bathroom, right? We need to remember this is a doctor right? A 32-year healthy woman, a doctor, anesthesiologist, right? Who is very capable to realize that if you enter a walk-in fridge at a store, you're not in the bathroom, right? And people were kind of saying, oh, she was looking for the bathroom, she got confused, right? I think you can walk into a place, right? Even though it is a restricted area or only employees. I mean, you walk in, you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. You walk right out. She basically stayed there. This is why I mentioned maybe she was being followed. Maybe she was looking to hide, didn't even know when the store was closing, walks in to the back, right? We know when a store is going to close, especially on a Saturday night, right? People get busy. The limited employees that they have, especially at Dollar Tree, as we know it, they're going to be busy counting register and cleaning up the store, or taking care of the last customers in the store, right? So maybe there was nobody that was able to answer any questions that she might have on the sales floor. Everybody was by the register, most likely, getting ready to close the store. And she walks straight to the back, right? And she enters the back room, restricted area, right? And she finds this walk-in fridge, and she walks in and she stays there, right? And I also mentioned to the point was that maybe she was being followed. She walks in there, maybe she waited. I'm gonna wait a little bit, right? Until I feel like I'm not no longer being followed, and then I'm gonna get out and leave. But in those close time, maybe the employees basically close down the store. She's not gonna be calling out. She's not gonna be asking or calling for help, right? If she got stuck in there, not being able to leave, right? Because she's hiding. That was my assumption. She's not gonna call attention to herself because she's hiding from somebody. So she was probably waiting it out and seeing. But then you question, wait a second, you have a tourist here. Where is her cell phone? Who is she with, right? Where is the family that she's staying with, her friends who are saying, wait a second, it's already midnight. Where is Helen, right? Did she tell you where she was going to go? Like, I don't know, like when I live in the Dominican Republic, right? When we had our cousins coming in to visit, like they became our responsibility. Like if we were gonna go out to them to show them the area and things like this, we know they're not from. I mean, you do this with every visitor that comes to you, right? They're basically your responsibility, and you go with them everywhere they want to go, sightseeing and things like that. And then, because the reason I mentioned my country was maybe there was a language barrier, right? But once again, you need to understand she's a very well educated woman, right? But what was the reason for her to be going straight to the back other than hiding from somebody, right? And now, okay, I know it was a long introduction, but now this is the little update about this case, because her family is speaking out and saying, her family in Nicaragua is saying, we need more information. Like, you guys are not giving us the reason. You guys are not giving us enough information. Dollar Tree said she went in through the back room on an unauthorized area voluntarily. They saw the video. The police saw the video for walking in. So now there's another video. Okay, it says here, video obtained by police in Miami allegedly shows some of the final moments of a mom of two who entering a freezer inside the Dollar Tree store where she died. The Miami Police Department previously said that the 32-year-old Helen Maciel Garay Sanchez was found dead inside a freezer at a discount store located in Southwest 8th Street on December 14. So it happened on December 14. I do apologize about that. An employee at the business found the woman dead inside the freezer around 8 a.m. local time that morning, according to police. And like I mentioned, she was also found naked. Okay. A spokesperson for the police department said that they have obtained a video from a family member of Sanchez of Helen, and from the store the morning the investigation began. And this is why we know there was no foul play. They keep saying that, the police keep saying there is no foul play. Basically, no, nothing suspicious here. She went into the freezer on her own. So they're sticking with that. They're saying they're sticking with that. I'm trying to picture somebody who is here, right? Visiting her dad for Christmas, right? She has two kids over there, has a full career going on over there in her country, her native country. Goes out to town with friends or family members, right? And decides to walk into a dollar store and walk straight to the back, find the walk-in fridge, right? And basically just stay there. It's not something, it's not adding up here, right? And this is why I was saying she's being followed. She was not looking for a bathroom. I mean, when you look at where this store is located, is located, right? Because these people didn't even close for a full day. They only closed for half a day. Dollar Tree put out a statement about what happened, and they basically back to normal operating hours for them, right? So you look at where this store is located, is sandwiched in between a Taco Bell, a restaurant across the street, and on the other opposite side is a Goodwill store, right? You think she's not gonna pick the restaurant or Taco Bell to go use the bathroom if she needed to do that? Why a Dollar Tree? Why walk all the way as like a mission all the way to the back, right? They're not saying that she communicated with any store employee. So, and the video that they have now, the second video that I was mentioning, is from a family member. So who is that person, right? Why hasn't that person come out and spoken? I also shared the GoFundMe fundraising that a family or friend or somebody created for her to transport the body back to her native country, right? And then suddenly the fundraiser was suspended or was paused. I guess I should say it was paused by GoFundMe. And I thought that was very odd, right? Because there was no explanation. Like something happens, they put out a GoFundMe, they collect, people out of sympathy. You guys know I support GoFundMe all the time, and then they're gonna pause it, and there's no official statement again from the family or whoever is basically representing her, right? So that's something, another big question mark in this case. And then the video that they have, right? Let me tell you. I'm sorry, I'm looking at something about the GoFundMe right now. Sanchez was a doctor from Nicaragua who dedicated her life to medicine, according to Stephanie Pereira, who organized the GoFundMe after the tragic death. Let me see how the GoFundMe is going. Just donations has been paused, and it's been like that for the last 3 weeks, right? It got to 18,372, and the goal was 20K, and it got paused. I don't know if a family member from over there got involved and said, trying to verify who the person is who was doing this. I don't know what's going on, but I really hope that the family does some type of interview. We need to know. We need to know their faces because there's a lot of questions here. And the reason that I'm saying that is because the second video that the police say they obtained, is they say they have a video given to them by a family member of Helen moments before she went into the Dollar Tree store. Oh, gee, that's great. I'm glad you have it. But you're telling me, right, that your family member who's taking you out in town, showing you places around, has you on video moments before you walk into your, where you found, I don't even want to say it, but you guys know what I mean. You have a video of your cousin or whatever, right? I don't know what type of family member it was, right? Cousin, an aunt or uncle, who knows, right? You have a video, you give it to the police, showing probably that she was happy, who knows, right? Normal. But isn't that also raising questions like, well, she wasn't back with you when you got home. Why didn't you call for help? Like, that is your cousin that's visiting you. That is your niece that's visiting you. That is your your cousin. It could be your cousin, your niece. Why you're saying, oh yeah, let me show you how happy she was the night she went missing. She went into the Dollar Tree. Like, but why weren't you when looking for her when she never came back? Especially maybe, did she tell you she was going to the dollar store? Did she say anything to you? I don't understand how it is that you go out in town to with your cousin, your family member that comes out visiting from another country. You're taking them out for a restaurant, walking around, showing them the neighborhood, and she goes into a store, and then you don't see her coming out, and you're like, oh, well, I'm just gonna go home and do my thing. Like, I don't understand that. So if anything, this raises more questions, right? Something definitely is not adding up in this. So let me continue to read here. So the police say that they obtained. I'm gonna read it again because it's even hard to see. Police say that they obtained a video from a family member, and from the store the morning the investigation began. And this is the police saying again. This is why we know that there was no foul play. She went into the freezer on her own. Video obtained by police in Miami allegedly shows some of the final moments before a mom entered the freezer at the Dollar Tree store and died. Why would a family member show the police a video of their loved one moments before they walk into that store? Are you trying to show them that she was happy they were having a good time? Or are you trying to show that she was, intoxicated or something? Either way, that is your family member. Like, you are responsible for them, especially if you're the one taking them out on the town. If you say, it's so crazy because they probably think they're trying to help the investigation. If anything, they're basically raising alarms, right? Raising red flags because why didn't you look for her? If she was happy and she just went into the store, she never came out. Like, why did you not question that? Did nobody call her cell phone? You can't say to me, you cannot come out and say, well, she's a grown woman. Like, she's an adult. We're not gonna. She is visiting you. She's probably staying with you in your house. And you're gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna let her do her thing. Like, she's not even from the area, right? Probably doesn't even speak the language either. Either way, if she's trying to show the video for the police, showing that she was having a great time, or showing that she was in distress, crying, upset about something, either way, your responsibility as the person who was with her last time, a familiar face, a family member, you're responsible to follow up and be like, wait a second, where is Helen, right? Let's call the police, right? Why are they not? I haven't seen her. She's visiting. She's not from the area. She hasn't returned back. Maybe she left the restaurant and said, I'm gonna go for a walk real quick. I'll be right back. That is your family member. How come you're not raising, like, calling everybody and saying, where did she go? Where's her cell phone? Like, some like this raises even more red flags. So hopefully, they they continue the investigation, right? And I really hope that the family comes out and speak, does some type of interview. We need to hear from whoever was hosting her here in Miami. We need to hear from whoever picked her up at the airport, right? Whoever was the one responsible picking her up at the airport. She was supposed to leave that Monday, the 15th, right? So the day before she was going to head back to her family over there, to her two children, this happened to her, right? So we need to know, like, we need more answers in this. That this, if anything, is raising more red flags. Let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you guys so much for coming to the channel. Thank you, everybody who's listening and watching the podcast. Have a good day. God bless.